Hello there, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Daphne. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I'm taking all of you guys' comments and suggestions, and we are going to be implementing them. Earlier at the beginning of this video, you saw I made the bow much larger. That was one of the suggestions that you guys made. And we are going to continue on with that throughout the video. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a walk towards the back of the yard, and we're going to go get the branch that we cut down last week. But before we do go, I just wanted to point out this area. This is the last little portion of the hosta towards the back of the path that I didn't get through to when I cut down all of the hosta several weeks ago. So we're going to tackle this at the end of the video. So this is the huge branch that we cut down in, if it wasn't last week's video, it was the week before. I am still contemplating the garland. Now I know that you guys gave your feedback and you said to go with the wild and crazy garland that I showed you the image of. I'm going to pop up both images so that if you haven't seen it before, you will be able to see what I'm talking about. So most of you suggested that I duplicate this option. So we're taking the branch and we're going to bring it to the front, and we're going to just put it up there, and we're going to see how it fits scale wise. But before we do that, I wanted to just mention to you guys, I have an indoor channel which is called Daphne's Indoor Living. I post videos at 3 p.m. on Sundays. You're watching this video at 6 p.m. So at 3, I release this video. And I did my dining room, which I just gave you a sneak peek of the dining room table, and I did my kitchen, and the spaces are absolutely beautiful, so warm and welcoming. So if you would like some indoor inspiration, make sure that you click on my channel in the description. It's called Daphne's Indoor Living to be able to join the journey on the inside of my home. So this is the branch. I'm definitely still contemplating how I'm going to recreate the garland. But for now, I'm just going to lay this up here. And while I do my other projects, I'm just going to continue to think about it. I have a couple of items that I've already purchased. I have a grapevine wreath, not grapevine wreath, a grapevine garland. And I think it was about a 15-foot garland. And I also bought twine, like more of like a wiry twine. And I also bought just like a cheap greenery garland, which I think I'm going to use as the base. But while we think about, what we're going to do, I switched over to doing a second planter. So I wanted to have sort of like an asymmetrical design here on the front porch. So I went and I grabbed one of my tall planters that I usually use on the porch. And I just put it over here on the right hand side. I'm just making sure that the screen door is still able to open and not be impeded by the planter. So we just moved it around. And I picked up 2 more 18-inch grapevine wreaths, and I am going to be doing the same arrangement as on the left hand side, but it's going to be taller, and I'm not going to do the twigs in it. I'm going to just wrap sort of like in an arch more of the ivy. So I was just checking over in this flower bed because as you can see there's ivy growing, but the ivy is really short and I really need some long wispy vines, so I have to go to the backyard. I am absolutely loving all of the planters and greenery and just rustic vibe that I'm able to add out here. And I'm loving that I'm just slowly adding so that I can think about, you know, the touches that I want to add and not just rush, you know, to get it done and to get a video out to you guys. I'm really taking my time and making sure that everything that I've been thinking about, I'm able to actually, you know, put it into my my display, you know, for the season. So I'm really happy about that. So one additional thing that I wanted to do with the bow, being that I made it much larger, I need to make sure that the actual bows stand up. So I went back to Joann's and I got 2 more yards of that tulle mesh. And unfortunately, the color was a little brighter. So what I had to do was the inside portion that I have securing the bow on the reverse side of the screen door, you can't see it. So what I did was I swapped out that tulle for the piece that I'm making, that I'm adding now. So I'm just going to do that portion that the bow is going to be anchored to. So the way that I'm anchoring the actual bow is I just went and got 2 safety pins and I'm just going to safety pin underneath all of the layers. You'll never see it, but it's securing the bow to just make it stationary. So I'm giving you a closer look on the left hand side. So I'm basically just going in the gathers on the reverse side and being able to secure it so that it doesn't flop down at all. And I'm also refining the actual loop on the bow itself. I'm just taking the long pieces, I'm going to fold it back over it, and I'm also going to safety pin it in the back. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be changing the design of the garland. So I went and I picked up the other day one of these like cheap garlands. It was at Michael's. They had them for $5.99 and they were 50% off. So I picked up this one. This is a 9 foot. I went to Joann's and theirs was $9.99. They're the same garlands, but I did not understand why theirs was $9.99 and Michael's was $5.99. So make sure that you pay attention to like these basic items. And if there's a huge difference, make sure that you try to, obviously get the, go to the store, which has the cheaper option, which I'm finding Michael's has cheaper options than Joann's. So I just draped up here this garland, and I'm still thinking about how I'm going to be doing the garland. In the meantime, I switched over to the planters. So one of you guys suggested that I do lights and also a bow, and I definitely wanted to do that. So I picked up some red wired ribbon from Joann's. And the ribbon was, I think there was 10 yards on this row. I'll show you a close-up image of it in a little while. It was $9.99 and it was 50% off. And I got huge deals. I think I wind up paying close to $3 for the ribbon. So it was definitely a great deal for 10 yards of ribbon. So we're just adding in we're wrapping the planter, and then we're going to swap this around towards the back, and then I have a pre-made ribbon which I'm going to attach to it as well, which I think is perfect because, as you guys know, I'm not an expert with making bows, so whenever I can get a pre-made option, I'm definitely going to do that. So here's a close-up of the ribbon. It's a beautiful color, and this is a close-up of the pre-made ribbon. This one was $5.99, and again it was 50% off. So literally it was close to $2 because I had additional discounts as well that I was able to utilize. So this is the planter that's on the right hand side in the window in the dining room. So I had to do that bow attachment from the inside because the driveway is right below here, so it's a big drop. So as I said, we are going to be ending the video with just a little cleanup. So we are going to be going to the side yard over here. We're going to remove all of this hosta. But I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you've been enjoying these little projects that we're able to do each week. If it's one or two projects, I absolutely love it. I love everything that I'm able to do in the landscape and I'm able to share with you guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this gave you inspiration to get out, do some projects in your landscape, and just enjoy, the weather. If it's warm or cool, crisp. I know this past week we actually are getting season appropriate weather, so we're about in the 50s and it just feels amazing. We had 70, 80 degree weather for several weeks, which was very unseasonable weather, so I'm glad that we are back towards the 50s. So I just hope that you enjoy yourself as I do always, and until the next time, have a blessed day.